This conference will now be recorded.
As always, everything that we're going to be going over today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. So again, for a Monday, summer Monday, I am pretty happy with the morning that we had, and it's just so funny. I'm going to get to SMTS in a second, but if we go over and we look at IDX, what did I tell you guys? As soon as I left, make sure that you were watching because we were going to get that push to 4 from the building that we had at 350. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Based off the amount of buying that we had at 350, there's no way in the world that I think that this is enough. We've just been having way too much building. As of right now, though, it is definitely taking a back seat, for the time being. So I'm going to keep it on my side list, but as for our afternoon, doesn't really mean too much. Now, SMTS. Right before we started our meeting, just some beautiful volume coming into this stock. But the one thing I want you to take a look at is look at 150. Okay, we came up to 150, and even underneath it, the buying was a bit lackluster. So, with that much volume, I expect to see a lot more prints. Now, keep in mind, too, it was parabolic. So, at the end of the day, that being said, everything is going to thin out, and it's going to be a lot harder for them to be able to get those bigger shares. But overall, definitely want to see something at this 150 for it to be able to continue. This really is a sideless stock at the moment because you can see volume is starting to wane. And here we go. Okay, so definitely looking a lot better now. Of course, we're doing our meeting, but definitely something I want to keep an eye on as we go into the afternoon. So SONO, I like this a lot because you can also short it and you can go long. Now, one thing is ever since pretty much it kind of pushed up to that 1450, I haven't seen much. So this is one of those things where we're definitely going to need to see some type of show of hand. The print personality is fairly small. It's really not that big whatsoever, but I'm going to need to see some type of controlling prints. It's definitely worth watching stock, but without those controlling prints, not really going to give us too much. Okay, it had buying at 14 the first time, but that's not really going to help us that much at this moment. So we need to see a little bit more volume starting to come back into this with some type of controlling prints to really give us an afternoon type trade. SHLL. So I love this stock. It finally made its move this morning because as we talked about, it needed to make its pullback from what we were seeing this morning. There was just so much buying. And we talked about it in the morning meeting, but you got to understand something is that when you first get a stock that hits a level a few times, that means we're going to have a bigger pullback. But you have to keep in lookout for eventually once it hits it so many times, it's just going to run because there's nothing left for them to actually pull it back for them to be able to build. So that's exactly what we ended up seeing. We got this beautiful short that came in from that 1750 level and came back down right to our target, our price target at that 1606 print line. And then we had a really nice move all the way back up to that 18. So 18 does have ask print, but the problem is that right now it's looking like we're seeing a lot more selling coming into it to show us riders are kind of pulling it back a little bit. So it's not the best looking stock at the moment just because it does go into consolidation a lot and it trades very consolidated as well. But if we look at these 18 ask prints that we had, the buying over 1850 ask prints, this would have been a real nice short to be able to take. We're a little bit too close to that 18 level now. So hopefully, for a high probability trade here, what we'd need from the 18 is to kind of pull up first and then give us a trigger. Because remember, we always want to have a better entry than the market maker. So if they're in at 18 and we're trying to get in at 17, let's say 82, it's not, our percentages go way down. So really what I'm hoping for is kind of a pull up from there and then a trigger back to kind of satisfy those, not only the pullback from 18, but also the bids that we saw at 18. Next thing, NVTA. So another one where I really like this stock because you can go both ways. But unfortunately, volume is very low. Print personality is extremely thin. Now, the reason I'm keeping this on our afternoon list is because if we get any real show of hand that comes into this stock, okay, 50 cents should be an easy thing. You can see the range today, $6.27. So really just looking for some type of controlling prints to come into here. And from there, we should, as long as our volume picks up a little bit, we should be able to get a nice trade. Right now, it's on our list based off potential, not based off of any prints yet. And obviously, print's the number one thing that we're going to need within that type of trade. And then KTOV. KTOV is one of those stocks that it's got to fit your game plan, and I'm typing it in wrong. KTOV, there we go. It's got to fit your game plan because if you're going to trade 100 shares, go look for a different stock. This is not going to be it, but nice, real nice trend. I mean, 18 cents for a 62-cent stock is a huge amount, and it's got a nice trend going. But again, I would really need to see kind of volume start to pick up the way that it did over here, kind of get us into those millions, because that's what it's going to take for something that's just so thick and that really does not move much at all. So I'm going to keep an eye on it. But this is kind of like a sideless stock based off of what we have. All right, guys, now anything else out there that I missed? Anything else out there that we have? So we definitely have a lot of potential, but it's just those summer afternoons. We need to make sure we get that volume, and then obviously, controlling prints are going to be the name of the game. Okay, that's really what we're going to need. All right, that seems like it. So I will talk to everybody in the chat, and happy trading.